Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling an exciting challenge for TechHub.Training, where we're going to use ChatGPT to quickly analyze Amazon's balance sheet. This video shows my approach to solving this challenge, but remember, the answers using ChatGPT can vary, and you're encouraged to dive as deep as you feel comfortable and explore different angles. The solutions provides a quick overview, but I highly recommend investing some thought into creating clear and effective prompts to get the most accurate and insightful results. Also, for this example, I'm only analyzing the balance sheet, but you are prepared the challenge to use all the data provided for this challenge. For step number one, extracting financial data. First, upload the Amazon's balance sheet directly to ChatGPT in Excel format. If included the Excel file doesn't work for you, a clear screenshot of the balance sheet can also be effective for extracting data with ChatGPT. As you can see, for myself, the Excel format didn't work, so I had to use a clear screenshot, and ChatGPT was able to give me a summary of all the financial information in this specific statement. Here's an example of the prompt that I use. Could you provide a more accurate reading of the data used in this picture? That only provides years 2023 and 2024. But the initial prompt is ChatGPT, review Amazon's balance sheet, provide an Excel format. Extract and clearly summarize the key financial figures for each of the following items across the last 3 years. Total assets, current assets, especially cash, inventory, accounts receivable, long-term assets such as property, plant, and equipment, total liabilities, current liabilities such as accounts payables and short-term debt, long-term liabilities, total stockholders' equity. Organize the data clearly by year. For step number one, also prompt ChatGPT by clearly stating extract key figures like total assets, liabilities, equity, and highlight these figures across the last 3 years, just as I did for the initial prompt. Note that in this demonstration, we're focusing exclusively on the balance sheet, but you're encouraged to apply the same steps to all the provided financial statements to fully complete the challenge. Step number two, analyzing financial anomalies. Next, ask ChatGPT, analyze the extracted data and identify any significant changes greater than 50% year over year. Tip, pay special attention to major swings in asset valuations or liabilities, as this often indicates deeper issues. So let's look at what prompt I used for step number two. ChatGPT, using the extracted data from Amazon's balance sheet, analyze the trends observed over the last 3 years. Specifically, highlight the unusual and abrupt changes in total assets, liabilities, or equity. Identify any significant changes greater than 50% from one year to next, and briefly explain whether each change could represent a potential financial risk or anomaly. Assign a risk score from 1, low risk, to 5, very risk, to each anomaly found, providing a clear justification for each score. Here are my results. For step number three, identifying specific red flags, clearly prompt ChatGPT to detect financial red flags by stating, highlight unusual adjustments in assets, unexpected liability increases, or irregular equity movements. Another hint, unexplained growth in accounts payable or sudden changes in long-term assets can be signs of concerns. So let's look at my prompt. ChatGPT, carefully review Amazon's balance sheet data extracted earlier. Identify and highlight specific financial red flags from the following scenarios. A, large unexplained adjustment of fluctuations in assets valuations, sudden increases or decreases in property, plant, and equipment, goodwill, or inventory balances. Sudden or significant shifts in the levels of liabilities, particularly sudden increases in short-term or long-term debts, or unexplained growth in accounts payable. C, abrupt or unusual changes in stockholders' equity that are not really supported by net income or non-equity transactions, which identify red flags, briefly describe why it might represent a potential financial risk, assign a risk score from 1, low risk, to 5, very high risk, clearly stating your reasoning behind each score. Now let's just have a quick look at what ChatGPT gives me. For the last step in the challenge, assign a risk height scores. Get ChatGPT with a simple risk score between 1 low risk and 5 high risk for each anomaly, clearly explaining the reason for you scoring. Another tip for you, higher scores 4 or 5 should reflect very concerning anomalies, like large unexplained assets impairments or drastic liability shifts. So here's my prompt for that. ChatGPT, compile your findings from the analysis of Amazon's balance sheet into clear and simple summary, which identify anomaly or red flag, clearly state the specific anomaly detected, sudden decreases in total assets or unexplained rise in long-term debt. Provide the associated risk score from 1, low risk, to 5, very high risk. Briefly explain why the anomaly is significant and references, especially which line or item from the balance sheet supports your conclusion. Present the summary in clear, bullet point format for easy reference and review. Here's the answer that I get from ChatGPT. I combined step number 4 and 5 in one simple prompt, but you can do it in a different way, and you can do it multiple ways if you feel that you need deeper and more in-depth information from ChatGPT. Feel free to do whatever you feel like to do, and you're encouraged to go as deep as you want, to go or need it. Remember, this method isn't limited to the balance sheet. You can easily apply these steps, techniques to Amazon and other financial statements, like the statement of cash flow or statement of income, to uncover more insights. Thanks for watching. I encourage you to practice this method with other companies' financials as well. Keep learning, keep exploring, and see you in the next challenge at TechHub.Training.